Hi there, it's Victoria McCooey from Victoria McCooey Coaching and victoriamccooey.com. So I'm here today with another episode of Manic Monday every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm a little late today. I'm 5 minutes late. At 1 p.m. Eastern, I go live and I talk about the questions you have around co-parenting with a difficult ex or a controlling ex or a narcissistic ex, or someone who is using the children to control you or otherwise be in a position of power over you. All right, so I'm a divorce coach. I coach women who are either in a toxic marriage where they are trying to figure out how to change things, how to set boundaries, how to regain their voice, their power in the relationship, or women who are already in a contentious divorce. So I help them through the process, and I help them make that transformation where they can create the life that they were meant to live, a life that they can really look forward to living, and get through the really horrible, horrible time they're in, feeling overwhelmed, abused, controlled, all those horrible things that come up during a divorce from a narcissist or from a toxic ex or a controlling ex. So I ask people in my community every week to tell me what their challenges are around co-parenting during this time with this difficult personality. So this week I picked this one to talk about. And, this is a totally safe place. I will never say your name. So you can feel free to comment or send me your challenges so that I can help you with them. Or if you want more privacy, you can email me at victoriamccooey.com, or you can messenger me privately. All right, so this woman says, how do you deal with all the hurtful words your ex says about you to you when you're trying your best to co-parent? I don't deserve the crap, I'll say, I take from him, even if he thinks otherwise. Happily, someone else from the community replied to her and said, you just simply don't allow his words to influence your child. Don't talk negatively about him, no matter how hard it is, and let your child see your happiness. So that is great advice. But here are my 3 tricks to dealing with someone who does this to you, is trying to trigger you, really, is what they're doing. That's their intention. They're saying things to you to provoke you, to make you mad, to make you unbalanced, to make you lose your marbles, right? So they can feel like they still have control over you. So the first thing to remember when you're because it's so easy for people without kids, right? They can just go dark. They can just never see this person again. You're going to have to deal with this person for the rest of your life, probably on some level. Once your kids are older, of course, it's a lot less, but for the time being, you are going to have to see this person. You are going to have to communicate. So what do you do when they're saying things about you or to you that are untrue or just mean-spirited, just ugly? Okay, the first thing to remember is take a breath. Don't react right away. Don't react. Just take a breath so you can gather your thoughts, so you don't just give that knee-jerk reaction that you always do. That is what they want to get from you. They want to see you angry. They're trying to piss you off. This is the last bit of control they have over you. So don't give them that. Don't. Take a breath first. Okay. Second, don't accept it. Don't accept it in. Once you take a breath, you'll be able to put that armor up. So don't accept it. Let it go. Do not let it in, because consider the source. Consider where it's coming from, and just let it just roll right off of you. That's going to actually annoy them so much more than anything you could say. And it's going to show them that you have power over them. You are in control of your own emotions. They cannot control you that way anymore. You know, they may be able to control you with money or time or whatever else. They cannot control you with their words anymore. They have no effect, but it takes practice. So you have to breathe, do not react, take a breath, think about what you want to do, and then be calm. Just no expression at all, not a smirk, not a smile, no reaction. Don't accept it and walk away. Third, don't badmouth him to your children. Don't say, I hate it when dad does that, or dad shouldn't do that, or dad's so terrible to do that to me, or can you believe dad did that? You know, like none of that. Do not discuss any of the relationship between you and dad with your kids at all. But by contrast, just live your best life with them. When they're with you, you create the household you want that you couldn't create when you were together. You show them what a healthy, happy, well-rounded and grounded home looks like and feels like. Where there's no bad mouthing, where there's no guilt tripping, where there's no finger pointing, right? Where it's just mature, level-headed parenting. And love them, love them, love them. Do the things that bring you joy. Show them how much you love being with them and caring for them. And just be uplifting. They will see the contrast. I know I say this all the time, but they will. Children are not dumb. They even if they're too young to understand, they will get the feeling that, oh, things feel this way when we're at mom's. Things feel this way when we're at dad's, or I'm at dad's. They're going to want to be in the place where there's no negativity, there's no name calling, there's no blaming, there's no guilting. You know, everything is just mature and reasonable and rational and safe, right? You're the safe place. You know I say this all the time. Don't let them get your goat. In fact, I know I've told this story many times, but I love it so much. I'm going to tell it again. You can get them to do what you want them to do by outsmarting them. So use their disorder, their personality disorder, their narcissistic traits against them for your benefit. So here's my story that I tell as an example of when I was going through my own co-parenting issues from a very controlling ex. Who had been abusive during our marriage, really a toxic situation. So he hated that he did not have any control over me any longer. So he would try to control me by when he returned the kids or when he didn't return the kids. You know, he wouldn't play by the rules. So he was supposed to have them for dinners on a Wednesday night and return them by 7:30, let's say. It's actually 7:42. That's another story for another time. So say he's supposed to have them at 7:30. He would have them, you know, the first time was 7:40, and then it was 7:50, and then it was 8, and then it was 8:30. And I'm calling my lawyer going, they're tired. They come home late. They're little. They haven't done homework. They need to take baths. They're end up at the nurse's office the next day, I'm told, because they haven't gotten enough sleep. They have a headache. They have a stomach ache, you know, whatever. So this is really hurting them. And every time I picked up the phone and called my lawyer, every time my lawyer wrote a letter, every time the other lawyer, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. This was costing a fortune, and it's not helping. It's not getting anywhere. And I just look petty. The court is looking at me like I'm just racking up legal fees because I'm being petty. But in my world, it made a big difference. If, you know, coming home at 7:30 and coming home at 9 at that age on a school night, it made a huge difference, but I couldn't convince anyone else of that. So here's how I used his own tendencies against him. the next Wednesday night, I got in my car at 7:30 and I drove around the corner where I could see my driveway, but nobody could see me. And I just sat there with a flashlight and a book and I read until I saw his car come in to drop the kids off. And it was like 9 o'clock. So it was an hour and a half late, right? And then I zoom around the corner like I'm running late. And I pull into the driveway like in a tizzy. And I jump out of the car and I say, oh my God, have you been here long? I lost track of time. And he's like looking at his watch going, what are you doing? Are you kidding me? It's 9 o'clock. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I was out and I lost track of time. I just guess I lost track of time. Sorry, so sorry. Guess what? The next week, they were early. He was there at 7 because now I'm out having fun. Well, that's no good. He's not gonna support that. He's not gonna make that easy for me, right? So all he wanted was to make me angry. It wasn't about being with the kids. It wasn't about keeping them out later. It was about making me upset. So once I wasn't upset anymore, once I was happy that he was out later, well, then he's not going to do that anymore. So simple, right? So that's what you have to do. You have to use their own craziness against them to trick them into doing what you want them to do. And that's what I help my clients do every day. We think of ways they can get what they want without having to go through lawyers by just being tricky, tactical, strategic. All right, so I am going to put a link in this post where you can book a free call with me. If you are in a toxic marriage or a controlling marriage, or God forbid, an abusive marriage like I was, then you should definitely reach out to me. I can help you make that transformation. I will hold your hand through the process where you can set some boundaries, see what happens when you do that, and figure out how to move forward and out of that toxic situation and into a life that you can't wait to live, because that's what's waiting for you on the other side. I mean, if it happened for me, it can happen for you. I never thought I would be happy again. I was in what I thought was the rest of my life in a horribly controlling, toxic, and abusive situation. I thought I would be stuck there forever. I had 3 little boys and no voice, absolutely no voice. And now my life is better than I ever dreamed. You know, I was lucky enough to get out and get strong. I ended up meeting the perfect partner for me, remarrying, having a huge blended family that is just so loving and it fills me up so much. And this can happen for you too. This led to this career that I have now of helping other women through it. You know, you can do that too. You can create a new life that you love living. And I want that for you. So please sign up for a free call if you're in that situation, and we'll figure out what you need to do, how we might work together. If we're a good fit, we'll figure that out and talk about ways I might be able to support you. All right, take care, and I hope I see you again next Monday for our next Manic Monday. All right, bye-bye.